Hello and welcome to Learning Office 2016. My name is Mike Henry and this will be the third video that we look at from Words Chapter 1. In this video we're going to look at how to enter information into Word, basically how to type in information or data. We're going to look at a concept called word wrap, and then we're going to check our word wrap using formatting marks, and we're going to see that formatting marks have to be turned on or turned off. So we're looking at a blank document here that I started. You can see that I've down here in the lower corner, you can see how I've raised this up to 140%, so it'll look a little bit better on the screen for us and we'll be able to see better. And we have a vertical insertion point that is blinking right here at the top of the document. It's waiting for us to enter in information. So using the keyboard we can do the standard typing, and I can put in here my name, and I'll even spell it right for you. And when I put my name in here, I've got that information in using the keyboard, and I simply hit the enter key now, and you can see it's ending that line and moving me on to a new line. For those of you who've been around the block and remember the old typewriter, that was like hitting the return carriage key, and we've started a new line here. Now I can type and continue typing a sentence here, so I might put in a sentence like this. So I did a quick pause there so you didn't have to watch me type, but I can finish this as I come to the end of the line. You can see that the line dropped automatically and moves on. Now I know for a lot of you, you've been around the world for quite a while with word processors and you go, yeah Mike, that's not really that exciting. For someone who might remember the old days of the typewriter, we didn't have this concept. This concept is called word wrap, where every time we get to the end of the line and we keep typing, it automatically wraps it down before us. In the word processing world, we want to use word wrap. We don't want to put a end mark or a hit the return key at the end of every line. This will begin causing some issues for us. So we'll look at that here in a second. What you can see is I've entered data in using the keyboard, and I've been typing it in. Now we can enter data in now with these new computers. You can actually talk to them and actually have the words that you say be turned into text. So we call that voice to text. Unfortunately, the computer I'm showing you today doesn't have that capability. But I can also bring in data through a different way. I have copied something off of another paper, and I can use the paste button. So I can come up here, and you can see my paste button is live, and if I click here, I can paste in that paragraph that I took from another paper. So you can see multiple different ways for us to bring in information. Now, I don't know where my end marks might be. I could have someone who put end marks at the end of each of these, and I won't know. So we turn on and off the formatting buttons to show us what's going on behind the scenes from a formatting point of view. Let me just throw in a tab here. So we have a formatting button that'll show up for that too. And right up here, using the Home tab, I slide down the ribbon until I get this backwards looking P, and when I put my pointer on it you can see where it says Show Hide. And when I click on this, now what has happened is I get the showing buttons. So right here you can see these backwards P. That's for every time I hit the enter key and moved on. You can see in here there's little dots between each of the words. Those are showing where I hit the space bar. So these all are showing me what's going on from a formatting point of view. So I can tell that in my paragraph that was typed in by someone was done correctly. They didn't put a hard enter or end key at the end of each of these. Now this is important to understand. I can actually remove them from back here or put them in. So you'll see I'll drop an enter in here, and I can drop an enter in here and an enter in here. And when I go back and turn these off, the document looks a little bit stretched out, but I can get rid of that stretching out. The problem would come is if I tried to do any editing to this, each of these would be treated as its own line. So we wouldn't want that to happen, especially if I were to do something like change the size of these. If I change the size of these to be much bigger or smaller, you can see as I make them bigger, it really wraps around and it doesn't look good. Or if I make it smaller, you can see how these lines keep getting shorter and it doesn't make it look like a paragraph. So what I would have to do is come in here and remove each of these marks here to bring it back to a regular paragraph, and you can see that paragraph word wraps until it gets to the end here. This is a very important concept. People who have not used the computer a lot and they remember the old enter key for an electric typewriter can get a lot of frustrations here. So in this video we saw that we could type in information using our keyboard. We also used the paste button to bring in information. Unfortunately I wasn't able to show it to you, but we also know that we can talk to the computer and that will turn that from voice to text. Those programs take a little bit of practice. We learned about the concept of word wrap. We also saw that we can turn on and off the formatting marks. By the way, when you turn those on, they will not print on a piece of paper. And I know the book is going to ask you to turn them on at times to see what's going on behind the scenes with them. Formatting marks can be a very useful tool when your text isn't doing what you hoped it would do.